Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to create 10 different nail art designs for Halloween. These are super cute, super fun, and most of them are pretty easy to do. The first design on the list is Warts. It's basically just polka dots, all different colors and sizes, but we're calling them warts because it's Halloween. I'm going to start with a black base, and then I'm going to take my dotting tool and add polka dots of orange and green, purple and white all over my nail. Then I'm just going to clean up around the nail and add my top coat. Easy peasy. And what's Halloween without candy corn? I'm going to start off with a white base color, and then I'm going to take a makeup sponge and I'm going to create a gradient with the three colors of candy corn, which are yellow, orange, and white. I'm going to take that sponge and I'm just going to dab it all over my nail, but I'm going to go in one direction back and forth because I don't want the polish colors to blend too much. And once it's as opaque as I want it, I'm just going to clean up with a Q-tip, my detail brush, and add my matte top coat. Design number 3 is Ghosts. I'm going to start with a dark blue base color, and then I'm going to take some white and start creating the ghosts. Make sure that you let the base color dry completely before you add the white, just so that it doesn't end up blending. Then I'm going to give them some arms. And then I'm going to take my dotting tool and give each of them some eyes and a mouth. I'm going to clean up around the nail, add my matte top coat, and the design is all done. Design number 4 is a bloody crime scene. I'm going to start with a white base color, and then I'm going to grab a paper towel because this design is going to get really messy. I have a palette here that I'm going to use to apply my polish, and then you'll need a tiny straw. I actually cut the ends off of a Q-tip to create this because this is what I had available. And then I'm just going to take some red polish and I'm going to put that in my palette. And then I'm going to stick one end of the straw in the polish, and I'm just going to blow through the opposite ends onto my nail. And the goal is to give this design just a authentic, splattery, messy effect. Okay, it's messy. You may have to maneuver your finger to kind of figure out where you'll need it to get the splatters in the right spot. I kind of gave up because I was struggling, but I took my detail brush and I just went in and added some extra details. Make it look real messy and bloody and artsy. When you're done, you're just going to clean it up with a Q-tip, detail brush, and then apply your top coat. Design number 5 is a graveyard. I'm going to start by applying a light purple base color, and then I'm going to take a makeup sponge and use the same technique that I did for the candy corn to create a silhouette, using a dark purple, a medium purple, and then the same light purple that I'm using for the base. I'm just going to dab that across the nail back and forth. Then I'm going to take some black polish and I'm going to create the graveyard grounds on the tip of my nail. And then I'm going to take my detail brush and start creating some tombstones. To make the tombstone, I'm just painting 2 lines and connecting them with an arc at the top, and then just filling it in. And then I'm taking my skinny brush to create the crosses. Then I'm going to paint a spooky tree on the side here. I'm going to start with the trunk of the tree, and then I'm going to paint some squiggly lines going in towards the trunk, and these are going to be the branches. Once I have my tree looking the way I'd like, I'm going to create some bats. I'm going to form a V shape with a bit of a curve, and then I'm just going to add some points on the sides of the V. And then I'm going to paint a couple more V's here so that Mr. Bat has some friends to go trick-or-treating with. And then I'm going to paint the moon. I'm going to start with white because this is going to make the moon stand out more. And then I'm going to use yellow with my dotting tool. And there you have it. I'm going to clean up around the nail, add my top coat, and this is the finished look. Design number 6 is slime, and I think this one's going to be really fun for beginners because it's really simple and quick to do. I'm going to start with a black base color, and then I'm going to take lime green and paint lines towards the tip of my nail. They can be different lengths, different widths. You can add some droplets around the nail. The point of this design is to look a little messy, look drippy, goopy. And this is the finished design. Design number 7 is a jack-o'-lantern. This one was inevitable, so here we go. I'm starting with a white base color, and then I'm going to take some orange and create the shape of my pumpkin. I'm going to take some brown and create the grooves as well as the stem. If you watched my fall nail art tutorial, this design is very similar to the pumpkin that I painted in that video. And then I'm going to take black polish and I'm going to start painting the carved parts of the jack-o'-lantern. I'm going to give my pumpkin triangular eyes, but you can get as creative as you want with your jack-o'-lantern. It doesn't have to look exactly the same as mine. And I'm just trying to get his eyes a little more even here. Then I'm going to paint a mouth. My pumpkin's going to be smiling because he's happy. And then I'm going to paint some lines through his mouth to create teeth. He's going to look a little spooky. I didn't have enough room for a triangular nose, so I just gave him 2 nostrils. And this is my jack-o'-lantern. I'm just going to clean up around the nail and add my top coat. Design number 8 is a spider web, and I think this is another really good design for beginners because it's really simple. I'm just going to take white polish and paint some lines fanning out across my nail, and then I'm just going to connect those lines with little curves in between. You want to make them as uniform as possible, but they don't have to be perfect. Once I get the shape that I want, I'm going to go over it one more time so that the spider web is as white as I can get it. And then I'm just going to clean up around the nail and add my top coat. Design number 9 is Frankenstein's creature, also known as Frankenstein. If you're interested in a more challenging design, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I started off with a purple base color, And then I'm taking some green to paint Frankenstein's head. Here I'm just giving him a neck. And then I realized I didn't make his head long enough, and he does have a really long square head, so I just extended it there. And now I'm taking black polish to give him some hair. Frankenstein doesn't have a whole lot of hair, but he's got a little something going on up there. Now I'm going to take dark green polish and just outline his head and start creating some shadowing. And then I'm painting a line across his forehead because that's where his sutures are going to be. Going to give him some eyes, a nose. And then I'm just creating some contouring, give him a more hollow look because he is kind of dead. Then I'm going to take black polish to paint some ears and to add depth to the already shadowed parts I've created. And then I'm painting the bolts that come out of his neck. I've never really known what the bolts were for, but whenever I see pictures of Frankenstein, he always has them in his neck. I'm just going over the green shadowing to add some depth to Frankenstein's face. And this is what he looks like. And the 10th design on our list is Halloween candy. I'm starting with a white base color, and I'm just going to take whatever colors I feel like using and paint some candy shapes, preferably rounded, and then I'm going to paint little triangles on each end to create the wrapper. You can use purple, pink, blue, red, green, orange, whatever colors you feel like using. And I did realize that I painted the candies a little too close, so I went in and tried to fix it with some white. And now I'm just taking my dotting pen and decorating my wrappers. You can put polka dots, you can add stripes. And then I'm going to take some black and outline the candies to make them look a little more cartoonish. And this is the end result. And there you have it, 10 relatively simple Halloween nail art designs for you to try at home. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.